Tonight on Rockoverdose.gr we are hosting JJ, guitarist and founder member of the legendary Twisted Sister. Hi Jay and welcome to Rock Overdose.
Hey man, thank you very much for having me on.
So you are going to perform live in Greece on this July for 2 ordinary live shows. What do you feel about this and should we expect any surprises from you?
Well, I think that what people really appreciate about Twisted Sister is that there are very, very few bands left that play in the original classic lineup. Mm-hmm. And we're proud that all 5 members are playing. I think what happens is a legend, you become a legend, and then people always say, oh, it's not the way it used to be. They used to have different people, blah, 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 blah. And I can say that you get the best there is because we're the best there is, and you'll get the classic lineup. So people will expect a great show, and we love playing in Greece.
Any memories from your previous visits in our country?
Well, it was hot, very hot. The last show we did was, I think, with Dio. Mm-hmm. So my memory, of course, is with Ronnie, and I miss him. We played with Anthrax as well, mm-hmm. and we had a great time, and the fans are great. So we really love playing in Greece.
So you believe that Greek fans are great, right?
Well, yeah, but we never played outside of Athens, so we're playing in Thessaloniki this time, mm-hmm. and we're happy to be able to be playing in Athens and in Thessaloniki.
Okay, Thessaloniki is waiting for Twisted Sister.
Yeah, there are many cities there, and we don't play that much, so I'm honored that we're playing in 2 cities this time.
And it's the first time in Thessaloniki, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Let's go to Under the Blade, which is going to be released later this May. Could you give us more info about this? And why did you choose this time to release it?
Well, the original recording that was done with Secret Records has never been remastered correctly. And we finally got a hold of the master tapes, and were able to remaster them mm-hmm. from the master tapes, which was important. And we were able to connect it with a live performance. That was a very famous live performance from 1982, and it was a Live at Reading show. So it's a double package. It's a CD and a DVD. And it's very important stuff. The DVD is a great legendary show in which Lemmy and Fast Eddie from Motorhead and Pete Way mm-hmm. came on stage with us at the end, and many people say that show was one of the reasons why the band was successful in Europe, mm-hmm. but no one ever saw that show. So we found a copy of it, and we made a package for the fans, and it's really important, and Under the Blade sounds the best it's ever sounded. It sounds fantastic.
So we're looking forward to hear it.
Yeah, well, we also have another double DVD package coming out later on in the summertime, mm-hmm. and that's going to have a show called Live at North Stage, which was one of our last shows when we were playing in the New York area before we got signed to our record deal, mm-hmm. and has a lot of different songs on it that people have never heard before but have heard about. And that's a famous show, we have the reunion show, the New York Steel show, and that's going to be packaged together. The North Stage New York Steel, it's called Before and After, mm-hmm. and that's going to be packaged together as well. So we're also looking, forward to that. So there's a lot of material that's out there that people have heard about for years, famous, legendary material, and finally people are going to be able to see it. And it just gives us more material to have out there while we perform. So we're very happy to have it out.
Although many people are curious to hear some new material from Twisted Sister, are you planning to record any new songs?
No plans.
No plans? No
plans, no.
Only old material?
Yeah, well, stuff that we haven't played. We're going to bring a bunch of songs out that we haven't played in a while. Mm-hmm. So for the hardcore fans, from Under the Blade, you'll get songs that you haven't heard, that you never heard us play before. That we're playing more songs from Under the Blade. But new songs, it's you know, we don't really see a reason why. Anytime a new record comes out, you maybe play one song from it. Nobody cares, and so it's pointless at this point. I'd rather play what everybody wants to hear than play something that they're not familiar with.
It's very
that just happens to be the way the situation is these days. It doesn't pay. Nobody buys the material anyway. No one buys the new records, so it doesn't really make any sense to do it. Most bands are never honest enough to say it. They want to think that they're still making new material, but to be honest with you, nobody really cares. And so we're very proud of being able to play what we play and being a great band and being one of the best live bands in the world. And we enjoy playing our hits for our fans.
I think it's very important that you are respecting your fans by doing this. Let's go back to your beginning. Okay. What was it that drew you into heavy metal and made you decide that heavy metal is this thing that you wanted to do in your life?
Well, Twisted Sister didn't begin as a heavy metal band. It began as a glitter glam rock band that sounded more like Lou Reed and Mott the Hoople and David Bowie. It wasn't necessarily metal. I think we evolved into it over time. When Dee came on board, he was more like Alice Cooper. And then slowly we evolved and brought in Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and AC/DC as times changed. So it was an evolutionary. It just kind of rolled into it. I'm a blues guitar player, so I didn't start out, you know, as particularly a heavy metal fan. I appreciated all kinds of music. I like good music. I happen to love AC/DC and I happen to love Judas Priest a lot. I just happen to really love those bands. So when the music changed and became heavier, it was a natural progression for us to get heavier. But I've been playing music for many years and started out as a blues guitar player. And still to this day, when I'm playing with my friends, I just play blues. I'm not a metal guitar player in that respect.
So your favorite genre isn't heavy metal?
No, I mean I love some of it, but what I listen to when I'm home is blues. So my favorite guitar players: Albert King, Robert Johnson, and Clapton, very early Eric Clapton. Freddie King is a great influence. Buddy Guy is a huge influence. Mike Bloomfield is a huge influence. These are the guitar players that molded my style of playing.
Okay. You've also owned a management company, am I right?
Well, I have managed many bands over the years, yes.
How is it to manage both, and your company and Twisted Sister?
Oh, that's a funny question. That's an interesting question. It's hard to do that. It's hard to manage and it's hard to play. But I will suggest to musicians that they should not ever forget that the music business is called the music business. It's not just music, it's business. And you need to really understand the business. And I lead a dual life. On the management side, you're doing deals all day long. You're doing licensing deals and you're booking the band and you're dealing with travel arrangements and all this stuff and you know, your road crew and dealing with the practical problems of getting a show on the stage. So you have to stay very connected to reality. So I'm very connected to reality. I don't live this kind of crazy rock star life. I'm too invested in maintaining a day-to-day hands-on approach to the band. So it's hard, but I've been doing it for many, many years. It's a discipline, and you just do it. It's just something you decide to do if you want to protect all the interests that you have so that you don't get ripped off. So I suggest it to many bands. Most of them don't pay attention, but I suggest that they do.
Okay. So what do you think about the hard rock scene nowadays?
You know, what do I think? Well, in the United States, it's dead. There's almost no rock bands anymore on the charts. If you look, very little. The Foo Fighters maybe get on once in a while, but the fact is in the United States, the heavy rock scene is completely dead from a commercial standpoint. It's all dance music, and in Europe too, for that matter. However, it's important to understand that even though it is not current to the young people, it's a huge business to millions of fans around the world who love it, who tend to be a bit older. And so we are looking at a changing landscape right now. Will it come back again? It may, but it's very much marginalized right now, which is a shame. You know, the rock star image that one had, 10, 20, 30 years ago is not the image these days. People are seeing the hip-hop artists, the dance artists, adopting these kinds of lifestyles and projecting them around the world as some sort of a symbol. The symbol of Keith Richards, the symbol of Axl Rose, the symbol of Led Zeppelin, of Excess and all that is on the rock side is almost invisible at this point. So yes, the Rolling Stones can go out on tour and make billions of dollars, and yes, AC/DC goes on tour, and yes, Judas Priest goes on tour, and yes, Twisted Sister, and we are more popular now than we've ever been. But as young people who listen to new music, it's not that popular right now, and I think it's just a cycle we're going through.
So, are there any final words that you'd like to say to the Greek fans, or something else that you'd like to announce?
Well, I just say that we don't play very often. We only play 12 shows a year. And I'm happy to announce that this year, 2 of those shows are going to be in Greece. I think that's fantastic. I love it. I think the fans in Greece are amazing. We don't play there enough. And I'm honored that we're invited back to play these 2 shows.
Okay. Thank you very much for this interview, and see you soon in Greece.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.